Peace and blessings, Israel. First and foremost, I want to take this time and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten Son, Yahushua, for allowing this word to come out. And I hope you sincere brothers and sisters is edified by this word. And the name of the lesson is called People Rather Turn Down Medicine from Their Physicians and Self-Medicate Instead. Let me say it again. People rather turn down medicine from their physicians and self-medicate instead. And in this word, man, what we're going to deal with is the abuse and the aggressiveness when it comes to self-medication. A lot of us have family members, friends that go the route of self-medication versus the medicine prescribed for you by your physician. Okay. As we get into this word, one might ask the question, what is self-medication? A good example of self-medication, or a good example of to self-medicate, is to choose and take medicines yourself rather than by prescription or by an expert advisor, someone like your personal physician. Okay, when a person self-medicate, they take addictive or habituating drugs to relieve whatever issues, whatever conditions, whatever stresses, whatever ailments that may bother them. You see? And it's a serious problem, and people, they are very comfortable with going the route of self-medication, sorry. If you are an individual that come across this video and you are currently self-medicating, I hope by the end of this word you'll be able to, think about that, second guess that, and maybe do something different, man. Like take the advice of a medical expert, which would be a doctor. One might ask the question, is it bad to self-medicate? Well, let's just put it this way, man. It can be very dangerous, and it can cause even more problems than the actual problem you're dealing with. It can really compromise your health, especially when you ignore the treatment that's been advised for you by trained medical professions, surgeons, doctors, physicians. Okay? Like I say, man, in the world that we live in, self-medication is really a serious problem that's going on today. Now, for those that might want to understand what's the risk, because some people look at self-medication as a benefit. Some people look at self-medicating as a better route. And in some instances, I've heard that self-medication have been a better alternative. But I'm here to tell you that it's a huge risk, all right, when you self-medicate. And some of those risks you're going to run into is incorrect self-diagnosis. You're going to experience delays in seeking medical advice when you really need it. You're going to deal with infrequent but severe adverse reactions. You're going to deal with dangerous interactions when it comes to drugs. You're going to deal with the incorrect manner of administration. You're going to deal with the incorrect medical dosage. You run risk of incorrect choice of therapy. What you're going to end up doing is masking your disease, man, which is going to cause you to be risk of dependence and abuse. You see? Listen, man, it's a very dangerous practice. Self-medication is really a dangerous practice, man. And I'm telling you, man, it's definitely an incorrect choice of treating whatever issue that you have going on, man. We're going to come to you, man. We're going to come out with two scriptures, and we're going to close this word out. And the first scripture we're going to speak about is Matthew chapter 9, verse 12. And it says, "But when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, They that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick." You see that? So those that are whole, they don't need a physician. It's only them that are sick, you see? So a person that's sick, man, he's not to go the route of self-medicating, okay? It said, what did Yahushua tell you to do? He said, if you're sick, you need a physician, man. And you got people out here that's sick, man, that's choosing to self-medicate versus see a physician. A lot of people are in medical denial. Whatever medical, issues that they're dealing with, they are in denial. Sometimes they are ashamed. But for whatever reason, people are choosing to self-medicate versus see a physician, man. Especially in the so-called black community, self-medication is huge. People rather self-medicate than take the advice of their physician. But Yahushua just told you in Matthew 9 and 12, it says, "But when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, They that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick." So if you're sick, if you're dealing with a particular illness, he's telling you need a physician. But you got people, instead of going to a physician, they rather self-medicate instead. Yeah, man. They rather choose and take medicines of themselves rather than the medical expert advice or the prescription being subscribed for them, man. And like I said, some of the risk when you self-medicate is incorrect self-diagnosis, delays in seeking medical advice when needed. I mean, it's a plethora of dangerous risks when you choose to self-medicate versus take the medicine prescribed by your doctor, man. In 2 Chronicles 16 and 12, it says, "And Asa in the 39th year of his reign was diseased in his feet, and to his disease was exceeding great. Yet in his disease he sought not the Lord, but to the physicians." So even in the Old Testament, so-called Old Testament times, man, people look to the physician, man. In this case right here, when it deals with Asa, okay, even though he looked for a physician, he did not seek the Lord, man. He didn't seek the Lord. He didn't have no faith in the Lord. Okay? So you got individuals that say, hey, man, I'm not going to go to a physician. I'd rather pray to the Lord, heal me. And that's actually the best route to go. If you had to choose between, getting medical assistance regarding a particular disease, the greatest healer of all time is Yahweh. Okay, he could, with the snap of a finger, he can take away your aches and pains. But until he do that, okay, like in the case of Asa, he had been dealing with this disease in his foot, and it was extremely great. Okay, exceedingly great, which means that it was getting worse and worse. Okay, and during this time, he didn't turn to the Lord and ask for the Lord to step in and heal him or give him some medical, assistance. Okay, because God is the ultimate healer, man. But he instead chose to go to the physician. Okay, so here's two scriptures where it tell you, man, a physician is needed, man. Why? Because he's going to tell you, he's going to be able to diagnose what's wrong with you, and he's going to be able to prescribe the actual medicine that's going to help your situation. But we all know the ultimate healer is Yahweh. So, if you're fortunate to go to Yahweh and he's able to heal you, then you did the absolute biblical thing. But in a sense where, you go to a physician, okay, you still have to have faith in the Lord when you do that. You still have to turn to the Lord and ask the Lord to give you guidance, give you counseling, give you that necessary, what's the word I want to use? You basically, when you're dealing with any type of health issues, man, you have to have faith in the Lord, okay? And you have to have faith in the Lord to know that the Lord willing, he's going to do what's best for you. And the Lord, can send you, once you go to him, he can decide to heal you right away, or he could put the spirit on you to go see a physician and put the spirit on that physician to heal you. Either way it go, the Lord's going to have his hand in it, man. You see? So self-medicating, man, is not a wise thing to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Most people associate self-medicating with the use of drugs or alcohol. It's just unbelievable, when you really think about it, man. When it comes to the percentage of those that self-medicate, when it comes to physical health issues, 27.5% of people self-medicate. When it comes to mental health issues, 26.5% go to self-medicate route. And then when it comes to physical and mental health issues combined, someone that have both, then 23.7%, go to self-medicate route. Okay, when we say self-medicate, they rather drink alcohol or take drugs or medication without a prescription to relieve a physical or mental health issue. You see? Yeah, man, I hope you sincere. Brothers and sisters was edified by this word. And again, man, the name of the lesson is called People Rather Turn Down Medicine from Their Physicians and Self-Medicate Instead, man. And I'm telling you, it's a dangerous game you playing if you choose to go that route. And I hope that if anybody out there are abusing themselves by way of self-medication, man, I hope you're able to overturn that, man, and seek the Lord first and foremost. And the Lord is going to either heal you or he's going to put the spirit on you to go to a physician. And if the Lord got anything to do with it, that physician that he leads you to is going to be that ultimate person that's going to better your health situation, man. You dig? Once again, man, I hope you sincere. Brothers and sisters was edified by this word, and we give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten Son, Yahushua, for allowing this word to come out. Shalom.